What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of Mar-A-Lago of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day. How are you today?
We're very good, and happy non-1619 Project Day. We had real independence yesterday. Beautiful day. Even Sleepy Joe can remember. You said there's so much violence, so much shooting, so much violence. Our country is coming apart under Sleepy Joe, and it makes you sad for the country. It makes you sad. I know. It was actually sad in Mar-A-Lago. We have a 4th of July party, as you can imagine. Great patriotism, great snacks. And what do you think? What do you think we do at the end of a 4th of July party at Mar-A-Lago? What do you think happens?
Fireworks.
But what do you think? Besides fireworks, what do you think is also occurring?
I'm guessing someone's wife is involved in the fireworks.
Well, you'd be right. It's Roger Stone's wife. And it's the one that, often Roger likes to watch her with all sorts of men, but he sort of prefers, he has, not in an affirmative action way, but it's just a nice preference for African Americans. But on Firecracker Night, it's the one night a year where they say whites only. It's a bunch of, and they wear t-shirts that say cracker, and they all go off in Roger Stone's wife. And I tell you, after the first 60, there were over 300 men lined up, great patriots. After 60, she did something she never did. She just said, I'd rather go inside. I'd rather go to sleep because she's so upset over our country. And do you know how bad things have to get for Roger Stone's wife to turn down an epic gangbang 1/5 of the way through the gangbang?
It has to be pretty bad.
That's where we're at. We have reached Roger Stone's wife no longer wants to gangbang level of despair in our country. Very sad.
That is heartbreaking. So you had a very nice July 4th with a great party at Mar-A-Lago, you were saying?
Great party at Mar-A-Lago, great people, great patriots. Bobert asked me if we could make our strong relationship public, and I said no, but we can make it pubic. And then she went down on me. So that was great patriotism. And other than that, though, it's just, I know you're going to get to some of these stories, so I don't want to spoil it, but it's a very sad time for our country. And it's hot, by the way, it's hot. It was never hot like this under my presidency.
Did you get a round of golf in?
Oh, I got to tell, because we have people that we hire to hold shades over us while we golf.
That's pretty cool.
We call them shade slaves. And they just cover, they cover us with strong shade while we golf. But they have to they have to have very strong shoulders because they can't stand too close, so they get the backswing right in the nuts. So they have to have that, like almost, you ever see on a film set, the guy who holds the boom?
Boom mic, yes.
What's he, like the key grip or something?
I think that's his name.
Yeah, one of these people. They have to have strong shoulders because it's like you're holding it out like this. It's kind of a tough spot. So these are big guys that give us shade.
Who thought of the name Shade Slaves?
Oh, that's a TM, by the way. TM. I trademarked it. So it was me.
So do you think other golf courses are going to have their own Shade Slaves and pay you for the trademark?
I mean, let's be honest. I know I know you probably want to be PC and woke, but tell me what golf courses are often conservative places. Tell me the golf course that wouldn't want a pack of strong, muscular shade slaves.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know one golf course that probably wouldn't want it.
You golf, right? I think you golf.
I do, but I don't think I'd be comfortable having a shade slave. when
Well,
during the
that's
round of
because you've
golf.
never had a shade slave. That's what everybody says until they get there, sir. I think I'd rather just wait until later in the day. It's a little hot. I go, no, no, no. You're coming out here. We give you a caddy and 3 shade slaves. And then when the people do it, when they do it, they go, I'm never going to golf without a shade slave again. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's called jobs also, by the way. It's called job creation because they're not actual slaves. We pay them in Roger Stone's wife sessions and tips.
Well, if you pay them, why call them slaves?
It's okay. Okay, tech stuff. What are the things that I'm very good at? I want you to tell me some of the things that I'm good. Other than presidenting in business, what's another thing that I'm good? Sometimes I even say, let's go branding as a hint.
Hosting a reality show. Very good.
No, branding. I was trying
Okay.
to give you a hint. Branding.
I was going to say hosting a reality show,
Shade.
though.
Let me ask you a question. What would you remember more? Because I already know what you're just as proof. You're getting January 6th, by the way.
I am.
And I think it's a girl. Is that Ashley Babbitt?
Yeah, no, it's my daughter. Yeah. Okay, good night. I love you.
This, you have a weak tech stuff. He's, oh, I love you. We're doing strong business.
She's saying goodbye to you, President.
Oh, very Okay, you know what? Because she's a patriotic young lady, we'll say bye-bye. I respect that. You know what? I respect the fact that you're raising patriots. We like that. Thank you.
Try.
I never say thank you to the tech stuff guy, but you seem different than the others.
So different.
So what we're saying is, I already know how strong the branding is because you're probably going to name the episode Shade Slaves. That's how good so you've already answered your question there by saying, what if we call it, we'll call it Shade Employees. What the hell is that? We'll call it Shade Provider. That's what at a woke golf course, they'd say, a person of shade providing.
How about a shader? A shader.
With a hard R?
Yeah, with a hard R.
Oh, okay. Some of my people might like that actually. Yeah, look at that big shader over there.
Or
That guy's a real shader with attitude. We fired him. He was a lazy, good for nothing shader. Now, what I would say is when people go off with shade slaves, they never go back. Once you go shader, you never go back. Okay, that's a new phrase we're inventing. But no, it's going very well. And I don't know what the hell we're talking. We're talking about golf, but we've got a lot of important issues in our country.
Yes.
It's becoming a disaster.
Let's start with this, which I know who you're going to accuse, but I think there could be 2 possible people, depending where this was found. But there was cocaine found in the White House in the West Wing. Who are you thinking about right away?
Yeah. It's obvious. Excuse me. I have to take water. It's a strong drink. But it's Hunter Biden. We all know that. This man, Sleepy Joe, has.
How do you know it wasn't like hidden in like a book and someone took this book out and it came out of the pages? And how do you know maybe someone in your family might have put it in there?
We don't ever use books.
Okay, good point.
We're very anti-reading. So
Okay.
no, I think it was Hunter. I think Hunter was probably feeling Hunter's not a good guy. Okay, this is not a partisan thing. Hunter Biden.
You liked him.
Excuse me, that was off the podcast record, you son of a bitch.
Okay.
He's a cool guy.
Right.
Not a good guy. Okay. You don't have to, good guys and cool guys aren't always the same. I'm not.
That's true.
I'm cool and good, but a lot of time you get a cool guy and he's not necessarily a good guy. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's a good guy. But
Okay.
what I will say is it's clearly Hunter. He was probably celebrating his very weak prosecution. They were like, okay, you murdered 6 people, stole $1 billion. You get 2 weeks community service. Very fair sentence. And he was probably celebrating because he probably feels, I'll be honest, he probably feels like nobody can touch him, and it seems to be true. It
I
seems to
agree.
be true. So he probably walked around the White House. He probably did like a TikTok. Let's look up Hunter Biden's TikTok. He's probably there. This is me smoking crack and doing coke in the White House, bro. And it'd probably go viral. He'd probably go viral if he did that. But no, it's Hunter Biden. It's obviously Hunter Biden. And I don't know who you thought the other possibility was, but it's Hunter, and that's what you get.
What do you think they should do?
Honestly, and you're going to be surprised to hear me say this. You'll probably be surprised. I think we
Yes.
should move on. I think our country is in too much danger right now. And they're treating me unfairly, by the way. I don't care if somebody does cocaine, to be honest, when they're treating a president as unfairly as they're treating me. They're treating me so horribly that
Well,
we should focus on that.
okay. We can focus on that. I mean, don't you usually the man at the top of the mountain, you try to take him down? Right now, you are on the top of the mountain. You are crushing the GOP right now. There's
I'm
no
on top
one.
of a mountain of cocaine, like Scarface.
I thought you wanted to separate yourself from that last story, but we can go with that analogy. Sure. Um, yeah, it's like Scarface on top of a mountain of cocaine. That's how you are right now.
Say hello to melatonin's giant son.
Is that too long for a title?
I think it is. How tall is that kid right now? Is he like 90 feet tall?
um, last time I checked, he was what? He's 13 and he is 6 foot. Might have
He was
grown.
16 and 6'7". I bet you he's. Oh, I'm looking up a picture of this kid. Apparently, he was with me recently. That's
6'7" right now. He is 6'7" right now.
Oh boy, this guy. Let me tell you something. When this kid Barton, I gotta say, not a bad looking kid, and he's got a little bit of a mean streak. So, God help whoever the first chick at college he meets up with. She's gonna get the real business from this giant freak. Oh, Tiffany didn't like me calling him a giant freak. That's well, they're friends, I think. So that's nice. That was nice of Tiffany to be nice.
Well, you are crushing it right now. Do you think, I mean, if you think about this, all the court cases, indictments, the wild truths that you've sent out, and it's only helped you. What does that say about America? Or half of America, or 45% of America, or 52% of America? What do you want to?
Well, it says America sees through the bullshit. Sees through the bullshit tech stuff. They see that they have a president. First of all, they liked what was going on when I was president. They liked 401ks. A lot of people's 401ks were with 601ks with me because there was so much money. And they loved their president. They loved their 401k. They loved being strong. They loved feeling strong and confident.
Mm-hmm.
And they realized that that's worth more than some bullshit democracy or whatever they're talking about. They realized that no, it's nice in a textbook. Democracy is nice in a textbook. When I'm not reading a textbook in a boring woke school, you know what I like? I like money. I like safety. I like wealth. I like security. And I like a president that's tough and strong and frankly a lot more handsome than the dead body we have walking around the White House right now.
Yes, but you have lied on many occasions and been proven to lie on many occasions.
I just got a delivery. My friend Jared, who is a nice guy, works at Subway. He just brought me. I know it's not a sponsor, but I'll do a freebie. We call it a freebie. But Jared Jared came by and he's looking good. I think he may have it was strange he converted to Islam, I think. But he brought me and he's looking buff. He's gotten strong. You know, I used to be kind of a nerdy guy, but now he's like a buff Muslim. But he brought me a nice sub from Subway, and then he said, "Are your grandkids around?" And I said, "Sure, I don't know their names, but feel free to hang out with them."
That's awesome. I don't know how awesome that is, but for your family, but I'm glad you got your food, which is your food, which is the most important to you. But you've been proven a lie many times, where there have been in the news what you said, what is the truth, and these people who support you, how do they know when you're being honest? You said they see through the bullshit, but you've been proven a lie so many times. What
There was a
bullshit are they
song.
seeing
There
through?
was a song, and I gotta look up who sang it. I know you won't know who sang it. We gotta look up this one song. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little. Oh, it's Fleetwood Mac. Okay, Fleetwood Mac. They had a song. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. That's sort of my supporters. You know, they're like, "Yeah, we have a game. You keep me safe, you make me money, and you can be like you can tell quasi truth socials, we call them.
Okay.
Tell me quasi truth socials, tell me sweet little quasi truth socials, tell me truth socials, tell me quasi truth socials. You ever heard that by Fleetwood Mac? We should hire them to do a remix.
You should probably be.
Stevie Dix, favorite singer of Mike Pence. I remember he used to always be on Spotify looking up Stevie Dix.
President, a couple more stories, and of course, we have some questions from our listeners. It's the first episode of the month.
It's always weird
Before
talking about. Oh yeah, it's always weird talking about Mike Pence and then getting a giant meatball in your mouth. Very strange timing.
Well, let's talk about an awesome sponsor, which is FanDuel. Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. So it's a free bet, people. That's right. Go to fanduel.com/Boston to join today. I'm a user of FanDuel. I'm excited. The NFL is right around the corner right now. The Mets and Yankees are both stinking, so it's not worth betting on them. So I'm just betting against them every single game.
Very strong idea.
That's it. So, and futures for the NFL. And you could have bet on the draft for the NBA. There's so much awesome bets to make on FanDuel. So don't lose out on this new promotion. Go to fanduel.com/Boston. Don't miss your chance to snag the no sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's right, $1,000 when you join today. Go to fanduel.com/Boston to sign up. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. 21 and over and present in Massachusetts. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at fanduel.com/sportsbook. Hope is here. Gambling helpline ma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. Now back to the show. Mr. President, what do you think of Stephanie Gisham? Stephanie Gisham.
I think you mean Stephanie Grisham.
Grisham. Yes, I'm sorry. I can't read my own handwriting. Grisham.
Look this woman up, Tech Stuff. I think she's a bug-eyed loser. She's always got these wide eyes, like she just took one in the keister.
Usually you're pretty accurate with your descriptions of people.
She's a real creep. and very disloyal.
I
But
don't
I
think
don't
her
know.
eyes are that bugged out. She looks like maybe she is part of like some secret witch or some secret society. She's only wearing every outfit she has on here is black or gray, black, dark colors, everything.
Oh,
I
wait
don't
a
know.
sec. Wait. Stephanie. Let me look her up. Stephanie Grisham. There she is. Well, if you look for the right ones, you see that she's always got the bug eyes. She's not a good person. She's very nasty. I don't know her. I don't know her though.
Okay. Well, she said that you showed these documents that you shouldn't have had
Oh,
that
good.
you
I
were
thought
holding
she
at
was going to say I
Mar-a-Lago
showed something else.
to your guests at Mar-a-Lago, like you were showing off classified documents to your guests. Is that accurate?
Yes, if they sign up for the highest level of Patreon, what's wrong with that? You got to do the, this, you got to do the perks. They call them perks. So when somebody signs the platinum, we don't show that to the public, but at Mar-a-Lago, when you log in, there's a special Mar-a-Lago Patreon level. Excuse me. It's I told Jared
Yeah.
to put oregano on it. And I don't think he did. So, but he seems to be getting along great with my grandkids, so we'll just leave him be. But the point is, hey, what was the question?
Stephanie Grisham, did you
Oh
show
no, when
these
you sign up,
guests with your
excuse
the
me. I
Patreon?
remember excuse me, I remembered very strongly, and then you interrupted me while I was remembering strongly. When you go to the Mar-a-Lago guest member website,
Mhm.
it asks you if you want to join the platinum level Patreon. So if you tack on $50,000 onto your membership fee, you then get a tour of documents. I don't know what's wrong with that.
I don't know. It's illegal.
Well, that's for the courts to decide. I say it's legal. I think Patreon is legal. I don't think Patreon is illegal.
It's not. Patreon is it's about showing classified documents being illegal. But
No, excuse me.
I it's the oregano now. Everything's okay.
No, they didn't do oregano. I'm gonna have to talk to him after this. But I'm telling you, he's gotten buff. He's kind of a strong Muslim. He said his name is now Jared L. Fogel. He put the L in his name, I guess, to be more Muslim. But
Is he wearing the coffee? What is it called? A coffee? The little
a kufi?
kufi? Is that what it's called?
Kufi or
A kufi? Coffee or a kufi?
no, but he was wearing a hat that said, "I'm a registered."
Nurse.
It might have said nurse. I forget what the rest of it said, but it said, "I'm a registered." I don't know, but nice guy. No, it's legal if you do it on Patreon.
Okay.
It's called Patreon immunity.
I got to read that law. I did not know that. Speaking of Patreon, Mr. President, join up on the Patreon, everyone. We are, I think, 16 people away or something like that. 16 people away from 200, which means we have Mr. President sit down with the son, which should be very interesting. Barron, 6'7", Trump, future maybe NBA baller or sociopath. Patreon.com/MP.
I just caught a little bit of meatball. Sorry about that.
Patreon.com/MPGA. Tons and tons and tons and tons of bonus material. Every Fred Trump edition for every holiday for the whole entire year. You have movie reviews for a few years. You have Rage and Brett was just on the last bonus episode. He had a show for a little bit. Tons of bonus content.
You mind if I ask a question of our great listeners?
Sure.
What would get you? You like the show. you're listening. You have thousands and thousands, and some people even say millions of people listen to the show. I'm curious if you send a message to the show, send a tweet, send a truth, whatever, however you want to communicate with the show. What would get you to join the Patreon? Is it cost? Is it that you're afraid of how strong the bonus material is? Because the bonus material, I'm just going to say this, okay? It has to be said. The bonus material is more content, more varied content, and deeper content than what a lot of podcasts put out their whole lives. It's years of exclusive videos, of bonus podcasts, of movie reviews, of special events. It's sort of crazy that not even for 1 month, try it. I think that's the best pitch. 1 month, do the $5. You can catch up on like 40 bonus episodes. For 1 month at the $10 level, you can literally, you won't be able to do, that's how much stuff there is. You won't be able to get through all the stuff in a month, but you might be curious. You might like it. You might be interested. I'm probably speaking to deaf ears, but in case they can hear, join the Patreon. If you're a fan of the show, you might as well try. What if, as I said to Black people who I took their rights, what have you got to lose?
Well, well said, Mr. President. Thank you. Okay. You're supposed to be in bed.
Tech stuff guy gets January 6th a lot.
I know.
Or peaceful
I know.
protests.
It's summertime, so kids go to sleep later. It's we're trying no bottle for the little one, and that's not working. So, Mr. President, it's tough over
Wow.
here. Yeah. Mr. President, we have one more story, and then we're gonna go with questions. You posted what you claimed to be was Obama's address on True Social, and then hours later, within hours, an armed man was arrested walking in the neighborhood that you said. What's up with that, dude?
It's called free speech. It's called free country. It's called Second Amendment. I see no issue whatsoever.
Why would you do that? Would you be upset if someone did that to you?
Well, people know where to find Mar-A-Lago. Hello, I'm in Mar-A-Lago. Great country club, great people, great patriotism. Everybody has a gun. All the women have fake tits. It's a paradise. It's take me down to Mar-A-Lago City where the girls have fake tits and big titties. Oh, won't you please take me home?
Well, let's say you were in a more private location, or let's say someone gave out the address to Ivanka or one of your loved ones. Would you be mad about that? Someone you love. Well, we'll just go with Ivanka.
Well, she hasn't been so nice to me recently. But well, it would be wrong because Ivanka wasn't a president. She's an innocent young lady, an innocent young lady with great fake tits.
Right. But Obama's an innocent man. What is he doing wrong?
He's a president. It should be. Why are you hiding? If you're such a, you're a president. Yeah, no, he's hiding like he hid his birth certificate. How about that?
You don't think that this could be somewhat dangerous to give out the address of a high profile person? You don't think there are people out there who
Well, the
are
presidents have kicked me off the ex-president text chain now.
Oh, really? So is that revenge right there?
Yeah, it's a disgusting, disgraceful revenge against free speech. It's called silencing. I think that I thought it would be funny. Here's what I'll say. Even though he's a horrible fake president who
You were
tried to
doxing
destroy,
him?
oh, excuse me, he was a horrible fake president with a fake birth certificate who hated our country and tried to destroy it. But I still don't think people should go to his house with weapons. Okay, I say that very strongly. They should go with peace and maybe protest, but they should not go with weapons. It's not good for our country. So I would just say that. I would say that. That's a very strong statement by me.
Okay. All right. Mr. President, we have questions from our listeners and some great ones today. And we'll just start out with Facebook
Do we not
here.
have? Do we have another sponsor?
No.
Oh, bye. Oh, you know what I say to that? Keep all your subscriptions.
Don't check them. Don't check them. Don't worry about them. Everything's taken care of.
Keep all your subscriptions. The only thing you should do is add a subscription to our Patreon. That's it.
That's it.
I'll say nothing else. How dare
This
you?
this comes from Nick Wilson. Sir, Doctor, King of all presidents, sir. After watching Joey Chestnut win yet another hot dog eating contest, I couldn't help but think LG Mike Pence would destroy him, especially considering all the practice he's had eating hot dogs at truck stops. So why has he never entered the contest? Thank you, sir.
That's a great question from a top tier. I'm going to say Nick Wilson is a top tier perfect 10. How about that?
I agree.
And he's a, it's, I think Mike Pence, he's obviously a traitor. He's obviously small gay Mike Pence. I'm going to say this, I'm going to almost pay him a compliment. He's a humble guy. Okay. He may have been
Okay.
wrong, but he's not looking for the spotlight. And I think he looks at Joey Chestnut and thinks it's very nice for that young man that he wins these contests. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's the only time you're going to hear me compliment that traitor. Mike Pence, what is it, 12 minutes? They got 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Mike Pence, I would say conservatively, could do 100 hot dogs. And let me tell you something. I've seen that guy, no gag reflex. He would, instead of doing I'm going to break it apart and so, that stupid technique. Don't you think that's a fake technique?
Yeah.
Because when you do a pie eating contest, you don't shove the pie in water and crumple it into a ball and throw it down your throat. You eat the pie. You have to eat it like a normal person. You just have to do it fast. With hot dogs, Mike Pence, the blacks would say he would stunt on them. He would just simply, he wouldn't do the break and unbreak. He would just say, boom, the hot dog down the throat. Because I've seen his searches. He's a fan of girth and he's a fan of length. And he's got no gag. I've seen him in his searches. He said girth, length with no gag reflex. He would literally just take the hot dog and he'd probably watch and he'd probably pray for Joey Chestnut. Because he'd just be throwing like almost like a cartoon.
Like a boa constrictor?
Well, like the hot dog with the bun, just and he'd probably say, anybody have any footlongs? These aren't challenging enough. And you'd watch the counter and Joey Chestnut would be like, I'm breaking hot dogs. I'm Joey Chestnut. And Pence would just be going, toss. Joey Chestnut would end 62 hot dogs. I think I won again. And Pence would just be very politely dabbing a napkin at the corner of his mouth. And they'd say 193 for the vice president. And I think he's humble. I don't think he wants that spotlight. I don't think Mother likes seeing him take a bunch of meat in his throat. So I think that's why. But I agree with Nick. I think he would win. And you know me, I'm not here to give compliments to small gay Mike Pence. But I think, you have to call facts. It's called facts. And I think he would destroy Joey Chestnut.
Next question comes from our vice president. Where's our president on here?
Wow. Okay. The man never has a slip up, but boy, oh boy. You check to see if that's happening. But show the vice president. Does he have a question?
The vice president has a question. It says, Good
Wow.
day from down under, Dr. President, sir. We are looking forward to seeing your son, Don Jr., here in Australia on Sunday for a speaking tour, but he just canceled it with only 4 days' notice. Was it because he didn't sell enough tickets to fill a 9,000 seat venue, or because 21,927 people signed a petition to ban him from Australia, calling him a drug taking, bigoted person, or something else?
Uh, well, I'm just disappointed because Kim Gargoyle and I had arranged for backdoor, a backdoor weekend, a weekend of backdoor sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's going to be ruined if he canceled his trip to Australia. Um, we have like a cute little thing with Gargoyle. They say, oh, when he goes down under, I'll go around back. And he was very upset. I don't really pay attention to Dan Jr., but he was very upset. Um, he wanted to go to Australia. He loves, he wanted to, I think he said he wanted to hunt koala bears while he was there and have sex with strong Australian women. So
Nice.
he's upset. It's good. I kind of like it when he's upset. He's so pathetic. But I'm more concerned about me. It ruined my potentially good, because
There's actually
my,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's actually a riddle asked you about Kimberly Gargoyle right after this question.
oh well, the point is I haven't talked to Dan Jr. about why he canceled. I know he's very upset that he canceled. He was blaming wokeism. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but he was saying the woke mob was stopping him from making strong ticket sales. So I don't really care about that. I just, there's a lot that goes, there's a lot of preparation Kim Gargoyle goes into before a strong backdoor weekend. Now that's all for nothing.
Well, this question, Mr. President, it sounds more like a riddle from Matt Harden. It says, Dr. President, Reverend Esquire, sir, how many white substances can be found at one time on Kimberly Gargoyle?
Well, that's a very nasty question. Uh, Obviously, there's cocaine, and she's always eating yogurt for the probiotics,
Yes.
and she. The answer is three, and I'll leave it at that, respectfully.
Okay. Last question from Facebook, Mr. President. I don't know if I should read. Okay. It's a very strange compliment. Mr. Twice impeached, disgraced, 71 count indicted, not invited to the Queen's funeral, but still my president, sir. What's your response to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis's ad painting you as a great advocate of the LGBTQ community? Did you kind of have to be on good terms with them because of Mike Pence being VP? Sorry, sir, that's two questions, but the first automatically brings up the second.
That's a fair question. Did you see Ron DeSantis's ad where he's like, he's trying to call me like some sort of woke LGBTQ ally. Have you ever heard anything more stupid than that? No, it's my next ad is going to be me urinating on the gay pride parade from Trump Tower. Because nobody's gonna out bigot me.
We're gonna get the questions from Twitter right now, Mr. President, and there's only one from Twitter. Mr. President, sir, is Mark Zuckerberg's new Threads app a threat to True Social? Will you be adding any new features to True Social?
Threads is not a match. It's no match for what we're doing. So bye. Not concerned about Threads. But we are adding to Truth Social a new feature, which is very good. We're calling it tweets.
And how is it going to work?
You post a message
Hmm.
and then you write send.
And that's it.
And you can post video, you can post words, you can post pictures. And what you do is you follow and you can unfollow. And we'll have trending topics, and you can even DM people.
That sounds like a great invention.
It is. And it's just it's sort of a companion piece to Truth. Obviously, most people want to stay doing truths on Truth Social because then they're true. But we want to do free speech, and so you can toggle. You can go on the Truth Social
Hmm.
side of it, or you can hit a toggle switch, and it'll take you to tweets.
Nice. I don't think that's ever been done before. It's very
Oh, not at all.
innovative.
Total new, total tech.
There's three more questions, Mr. President, and these come from Instagram. This comes from Aaron 415 SF. Dear Mr. President, boss of bosses, sir of sirs. Recently, somebody leaked some very private information that should be kept between a strong father and a hot as fuck daughter. In the article, it was stated that you made creepy comments about Ivanka's boobs and butt and openly mused about what having sex with her would be like while in the White House. My question isn't about the truth social of this article, but rather if you are concerned that some of the many weak radical left men sent by the Tech Stuff Agency have been leaking your private, off the podcast record conversations to the press.
I mean, it's when a father can't just speak proudly of his daughter. I said, and I don't mind sharing this. It's not that people know what I said. It's the fact that people run around and share it like it's secrets. Because you know how that is? It makes it feel like a dirty thing because the way people say it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in a schoolyard and somebody says, "Hey, where's our next class?" But somebody thinks you said, "I'm going to kick your ass." And then some student goes, "Ooh," and then everybody gets triggered, to use
Right.
a word. And they think now they think somebody insulted somebody instead of just a mistake. So it's the way you share it. When the fake news media shares me complimenting my daughter like it's a scandal, then people read it like it's a scandal. There's no scandal. And I'll share with the audience what I said specifically. She had walked into my office. She was wearing a very tight dress, and as I requested, because the temperature was turned down to like 48 degrees with the air conditioning, and Ivanka was wearing a skin tight dress with no bra. And she walked in and she leaned over and put something on my desk. And I just looked. I looked to see the full shape of the dress. So I looked at her ass just as of curiosity, just like, oh,
Mhm.
you see, I had Trump ties, so I'm very strong on fashion. And she turned away and walked out. And I watched her, and I could tell there was no underwear line through the dress, so she was going commando. And I said to a couple of people in the office, I said, "Have you ever seen something so hot? Have you ever, just proud as a father? It's like a beautiful, people. Oh, if you say my daughter, she's so beautiful. I don't use stupid words I use like normal people talk. So I say she's hot. It means beautiful. Somebody, being fancy might say, "Oh, she's beautiful. She's very pretty." I say she's a hot piece of ass. It means the same thing. And I said after she had kids, I said, "Oh, I wonder if her pussy's still tight." That's all.
Not
It's
a
a
bad question.
curiosity. I
Yeah.
said she put,
Innocent
and
father question.
and then I called in Jared Kushner and I
Wisdom.
said, "We're having a debate. Is Ivanka's, is she still tight after the kids?" And he said, "Oh yes, sir, she's very tight." And I said, "Well, you're a very lucky guy because there's not a guy in this room, including me, who wouldn't love to just get all up in that and feel that that beautiful creation." And I said to him, I said in front of everybody, so I wasn't sure. I said, "Do the tits I paid for, do they feel natural? Do they have like a good density, or do you feel like you're holding like because we paid top dollar. And he said, no, they feel very natural, sir. And I said, well, that's good to hear. We like to hear that. You want to hear that you bought a product and it's good. And then I said, what's your favorite position with Ivanka? Just out of curiosity, since I'm her father. I got emotional. And he said, sir, do you sure you want me to answer that? And I said, I wouldn't ask it if I didn't want you to answer. It's totally fine. We're not PC. We're not woke. And he said, well, Ivanka is sort of favorable to the back door. And I hit my hand on the table. I said, I knew it. Didn't I tell you, John Kelly? Didn't I tell you? I told you 2 weeks ago. My daughter, my hot, talented daughter, she walks like somebody who loves it in the keister. And it's true. It's true. And I said, okay, thank you, Jared. You can go now. And he said, thank you, sir. Glad to be of help, sir. And that was it. I don't know why people think it's some scandalous, oh, how
I don't know.
disgraceful. Yeah, well, okay, when Jared he was walking out and I said, and does she still go down on you? And he said, once in a while, sir. And then he looked a little dejected and sad and he left. And then when he left, I said, that's how you know he doesn't have the charisma or the talent. Because if that was my wife, if Ivanka was my wife, twice a day, going down. And that was it. That's all we said. Very, very just sort of classy and calm and nothing scandalous. So I say that everybody can hear that on the podcast. So I don't know what's there to be ashamed. The left, they love to act, oh, we're so sex positive and we don't want any of your rigid Christian values. And then when I act in a very pro-sex, pro-positive kind of way, they say, oh, I'm doing something wrong. It's a total disgrace.
Awful.
They should be ashamed of themselves to make a discussion like that sound dirty.
We have one more question, Mr. President. This comes from DJ McConnell. And Mr. President, sir, did they reach out to you to replace great conservative Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune? Maybe you should negotiate Ivanka or Lauren Boebert to replace Vanna since she is too old.
Oh, I mean, we love that. We love DJ McConnell. Strong question. Very strong. Obviously, we're sad in a strong way to lose Pat Sajak. It's guys like Pat Sajak, strong conservatives. It's important that we have, because he's not a culture warrior. He's just making people happy, doing a nice show. Doing a nice show with a nice, beautiful woman, Vanna White. And who, by the way, wanted to date me in the 80s. I said, no, thank you, darling. But because now Pat Sajak, when all they see is, admitted strong conservatives, but when all they see is kind of us fighting the political battles, they forget that we're great people. We're great people with great jobs who entertain many people. It's not just the left that entertains. We just don't get the credit. And they did reach out to me. And I said, well, when I win the presidency, that's probably going to interfere with filming. And I said, what if we build a wing of the White House that can be a Wheel of Fortune studio? And they said, we could do that, sir. And I said, well, that sounds like a plan. So, with the East Wing and the West Wing, well, we're going to have the Super West Wing, which is going to be a TV studio. And as much as obviously I'm very close to Lauren Boebert, okay, I love her talent, but I think we have to respect the strong blonde tradition of Vanna White. So Ivanka, I've already said, and that's a great question. Ivanka is going to be the next Vanna White. And but it's not going to be that kind of, how they always had that, you always wondered, Pat, why don't you fuck Vanna White? It always felt like they just were friends. And I was like, how disgusting. You have a beautiful, beautiful blonde model there and you're friends. That's not what friends are for, by the way. You ever hear that song?
I've heard it before.
Keep smiling, keep shining. Just be friends with a smoking hot blonde. For sure. 'Cause I don't want sex with that whore. No, the song doesn't go that way. It's a different song. And in this case, you should have had powerful sex. So I want Ivanka and I to create a kind of sexier energy for Wheel of Fortune to attract the young people. So we'll be very respectful of our older viewers who love the traditional quality family entertainment, but we'll spice it up. You know, Ivanka might get an augmentation. She might flirt with me. She might, might see her put her hand on my thigh, laughing at my jokes. And, maybe she does like a Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct. Like, oh, let me cross my legs while I turn this letter. And I think that'd be beautiful because you attract the new people who want like a sexier, hotter, kind of father-daughter. It's a very popular theme on porn searches too. So nobody's addressing this.
You're just
If you
adding more
give them,
people.
if you exactly, if you give them hot father-daughter Wheel of Fortune action, the searches will be off the charts. And so we're excited. So we're going to build a new wing of the White House. And it'll be, that's a great question. I'm glad he thought, he didn't think of it first, obviously, because it's already happening. But he's that's why he's one of our top people, DJ McConnell. And he was right on target with that. So yes, Wheel of Fortune. It will be called Feeling of Family.
Nice.
I'm going to rebrand it a little bit, but it's going to be beautiful. And we're going to up the dollar amounts, all these little dollar amounts. It's going to be like, if you hit bankrupt, your whole family goes bankrupt, not just in the game.
That's it.
So the
Nice.
stakes are higher. If you hit bankrupt, you go bankrupt. But instead of like, $500, no, it's going to be $50 million.
Oh,
So
wow.
the stakes are going to imagine the stakes of that. Imagine when you spin the wheel instead of like, I won $10,000. No, you either win $1 million or your family gets bankrupt, and then we'll put like you go to jail. That'd be like a go to jail triangle. It's like, here, you take this, you landed on this, so you're going to go to jail unless you can solve the puzzle right now. Very exciting stuff. And, there'll be you hit a triangle where it says, $500 and Ivanka strips. Imagine that.
So you're keeping the game mostly the same.
Very family friendly.
Very good. Mr. President, thank you so much for answering all the questions from our listeners. And just keep crushing it out there, man. Just keep doing what you're doing because I don't even know if they're gonna have primaries. Me just hand it to you. This weekend, if you are in Hartford, Connecticut, I'm at City Steam the 7th and 8th, one show each night, 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday. So check that out, comedycraftbeer.com for tickets. And the next week in 14-15, I'll be Catch It Rising Star in Princeton, New Jersey. So get some tickets and come out if you are in New Jersey or in Connecticut. And Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Great episode. Very strong by me as always. Hey, everybody, it's JL. If you're still listening and you're one of the many cheapos that listens to this podcast, this is your chance to help me without spending a cent. Are you listening? This is a chance. You spend nothing and you can help me. Tall Boy goes up. My special Tall Boy goes on YouTube, 9 p.m. Thursday Eastern. Goes live. If you can watch it then or soon thereafter, great. Give it a like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JLCovan. But watch it, Thursday night or Friday during the day. But the sooner the views go up, the better it is for the algorithm because it indicates kind of a burst of early interest, which will give it longer legs, so to speak. So Tall Boy on my YouTube page goes live 9 p.m. on Thursday Eastern time, or to Michael C in Australia 11 a.m. Yeah, and I'm in Rutherford, New Jersey this Saturday at the Williams Center. Fun show. Come on out. John Moses, a mutual friend of ours, is also on the lineup with me. Beyond that, there's other stuff in the pipe, but nothing official yet. So literally rate and review this show on iTunes, join our Patreon, watch my special for free starting Thursday night. The sooner the better. Share it with a friend. and Williams Center this Saturday, 8:30 p.m. in Rutherford, New Jersey. That's it. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. Hope your holiday was good. God help us all.